All right, we are here. You're here. I'm here. We're queer. You're tuned in for an all new episode of A Seat at the Table podcast, where if you are not pulled up to the table, then that means that you might be on the menu. Lego. So now that we're all here together, thank you so much for gathering. How you doing? How's your mom doing? How's your dad doing? How's everyone? Great. Yeah, you look good. Your skin looks good. What have you been on a keto diet? You juicing? You fasting? What are you doing? Your waist looks snatched. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, doing a little something different with my hair. It's called not giving a fuck. Yeah. You can find it in the back of the store. 0 fucks to give. In a 40-ounce bottle. Oh, so good. Delightful. All right. I'm going to be so forthcoming with you guys. I am having all kind of audio technical difficulties today. So we're going to do the best that we can and hope for a miracle. You guys, let's just get right into it. So T.I. and Tiny, this week it came out. And you know what? Before we even get into them, can we just do a moment's rest in peace to the dame, the lady, Miss Cicely Tyson, and also a rest in peace to Cloris Leachman. These two are two of my favorite legendary dolls. Both of them passed away this week. I believe Cloris Leachman was in her 80s. And we also lost Larry King. And we also lost Lady Cicely Tyson, a New York Harlem native. So precarious times. Rest well to those legends. Just always weird when you lose the legends, because you, after a while, start to think that they'll be around forever. But I think that the contribution that those three have given, I think that they have worked and toiled and, well done is all I can say. Larry King, phenomenal CNN anchor, the Larry King Show, just a staple in my home growing up. Everyone will remember Larry King's interview with Chris Brown post the Rihanna physical assault incident. Cloris Leachman, famous actress, comedy stylings, loved her. I actually became familiar with her because in the early 80s, she did come on The Facts of Life for a brief stint, and she was hilarious. And then also the beloved Cicely Tyson, who most recently, if you are not familiar with her movies, then you will be most recently familiar with her work on the Shonda Rhimes show, How to Get Away with Murder. She played Annalise's mom. She was also in several Tyler Perry family reunion movies. She was also in Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor. I mean, it just goes on. And I'm sure she actually just debuted this week, Tuesday. And I believe she passed away on Wednesday. She just debuted this Tuesday, her memoir. And at the age of 96, haven't been asked for decades upon decades to deliver a memoir, because I'm sure she's got some great stories. She finally this year decided to go ahead and release it. And the release actually happened this Tuesday. And she was doing and slated to do several interviews with media outlets. She did just recently do an interview with Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest on Tuesday, which I believe was one of her last televised interviews. So I definitely am going to be picking up the the Audible version of the memoir because I am interested in her stories. I recently just watched a Miles Davis documentary where I found that they had been married for several years, I believe in the early 80s. So very interesting. Didn't know that. Cicely Tyson was also godmother to Lenny Kravitz because she was really great friends with his mom, Roxy, and I don't want to butcher. I'm just going to say Kravitz, but I know that that is not her actress given or her stage name that she went by. But yeah, very interesting. Rest in peace to the legendary dolls. But yes, let's get back to T.I. and Tiny, will we? Okay, so it came out this week that, or they were accused this week by I want to say that she is a makeup artist or, I'm not sure what she does, but young lady, came out this week and basically said that T.I. held a gun to her head and, just some sexual abuse allegations against him and Tiny. Now, I think it's interesting, because the accusations that are being brought against them is one thing, because after the young lady Sabrina from, I believe it's called the Glam University, but after she revealed, I guess, her accusations, then other women started to come out the floodgates. Now, while I don't have an opinion on whether or not I think it's true or false, what I will say is, before the girls knew that they could get famous on the internet, what a time to be alive. You know what I mean? You could do all kind of tawdry, seedy things, allegedly. And, it wasn't like the girls were going to get you together in the middle of the town square, which is what I call the internet, because one person comes out and says something and everyone's paying attention. And you can either get everyone to, circle you with their flaming sticks in the middle of the internet square, or you can get them to support you. I mean, it's good and evil, being able to use social media and the internet in that way. But I will say that, I don't know, how did we ever find out that T.I. and Tiny have an open relationship, or I guess allegedly at some point in time either had an open relationship, have an open relationship, invite girls and how did we find that out? Because that's like, no shade, no tea. That's not something that I feel like, why do we know this? Because here's the thing about something like that, and I imagine in the celebrity world. Once you've let the general public know that you're into something like that, you now attract all the crazos and the kooks that would perhaps like to hitch their wagon onto, something like that for whatever reason, whether it is because they see a possible come up for themselves or it is because they are interested. You then turn on the faucet to invite a lot of crazy. And I think, I'm not saying that this woman and these accusers are telling the truth or not. What I am saying is you have to be vigilant about when you're in a relationship, regardless of what is I could give a fuck less about, the sexual orientation of the relationship. When you are in a relationship, whether you are famous or not famous, you have to be very discerning about how much you let people into the guise of your relationship. Now, I think ultimately, if we, John Q. Public, didn't know about these alleged stories of T.I. and Tiny letting people into their bedrooms, whatever, then it would be harder for someone to kind of come now and say, hey, I too was a part of that mess. You know what I mean? Or I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You girls got to be careful. Like, yes, you want to show people like your relationship and all these things. And you want to tell everybody that you're in love and you want to sing it from the mountaintops. But the girls love to see Humpty Dumpty climb the wall and have a great fall. You know what I'm saying? They love it. They love it. They love it because you know what? Once you let people into your relationship, they're invested. They're invested. And it doesn't matter the origin of the relationship. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's because you guys like to have an open relationship or, you know, you guys just always love sharing your Saturday nights and how y'all be dancing, grinding on each. Like, sometimes it's just too much. Sometimes you, like, I get it. You want to show it off. But like, you know, when you do that, the energy shifts around, you know, it's the town square. And so it's not just the people you've invited, it's everybody else who now feels like, well, since you made it public, I can have an opinion. You know? Well, the story gets a little bit more tawdry as now people feel the need to defend T.I. and Tiny. So in their corner, we have Shekinah Joe. We have Brandy Boyd. We have Meek Mill. These are the people who are vouching for them, saying, hey, man, they don't sex traffic girls. Relax, all right? They're good people. They don't hold guns up to people's head. Now, the main accuser, Sabrina, the family does know her, and she did at some point have a personal relationship with the family, meaning I don't know what the status of that relationship is, but she was privy to be around them. And something obviously went left because the relationship soured for whatever reason. But yeah, that's the story with those people. And we will be, I guess, paying attention to see what happens out there. You guys, Bree Runway has a new song called ATM featuring Missy Elliott. Now, while I know my friend Azealia Banks is often problematic, to say the least, an agitator, if you will, I take umbrage to the fact that, like, Bree, I love you. I've always loved you. Did you need to do an ATM jam song? Did you need to do that? Because I think we all are aware of how crazy Azealia is, but what a fucking talent she is. And her ATM song that was produced by Pharrell is a bop. You know the song, okay? So it's weird to me. It's weird for me that she chose to do that. It's just weird for me, okay? No big deal. So what is happening now with Adele? Apparently her manager has been stooping her out of money. Listen, it happens all the time with the girls. Speaking of the girls, can anybody want to explain what's wrong with Keke Wyatt? So there is a clip circulating of Keke Wyatt. She was on the show The Man Tea, which I guess features Milan Christopher. If anybody follows the Shade Room, you will know who Milan Christopher is from the comments section. Always has a comment. And I guess Milan Christopher was also from something else, but I'm not familiar. At any rate, Keke Wyatt when being interviewed on that show, appeared allegedly to be inebriated, or she appeared to be unwell. When asked about, I